Hello everybody, my name's Deadman. Welcome to another beginner's strength training workout. This is all lower body. We're going to be using our knees, but there's no jumping. And we just work on the quads, and then the second half will be glutes and hamstrings. So it's short, it's good, it's basic, and it will be brilliant for you if you're just starting out strengthening your lower body. I've got dumbbells, pair of dumbbells, or no dumbbells and one kettlebell. If you haven't got any of that kind of equipment, that's absolutely fine. Just find two evenly weighted objects to hold in each hand. Don't go to the expense of buying loads of equipment if you're just going to work out at home. Okay everybody, we're just going to start off with a little warm up first. So just take your feet quite wide, take your hips out behind you, and then come back up. And I want you to squeeze your glutes a little bit as you come up. So you're pushing your hips behind you and back. Let me go sideways, you'll see what I mean. Hips out, and then a squeeze. You'll feel a little stretch in the back of your legs, that's fine. But try and keep your back straight, so you're not rolling down with a rounded back. You're pushing your hips out, and I want you to squeeze your glutes to stand up. We're going to do 3 more. 1. Squeeze 2. And 3. Keep them wide, toes forward, bend the knees and stick your hips out behind you and just go slowly side to side. Just warming everything up. Now add a little twist, just reaching to the opposite ankle. Quite good to warm up the core. Reach. Perfect. Here we go. 1, 2, 2 more. 4. Okay, bring your feet in a little bit, your toes are forward, and we're going to just squat. So all I want you to do is just sit down. Imagine you've got a little chair behind you. Just sit down so your hands can stay up all the time in front of you, so your chest is proud and forward. So what you must try not to do is let your knees go forward. So you're driving through your heels. Push through your heels and almost having the toes off the floor. Squeeze your glutes. So let's pause at the bottom. Tense your glutes and come up. Okay, let's go again. Down, squeeze, come up. Down, squeeze, come up. 1 more. Squeeze, come up. Perfect. Now I want you to come on the floor. We're just going to wake up the glutes a little bit. So tuck your heels in, head down, relax. Squeeze and lift up. Clench hard, stay absolutely still. Keep your pelvis even and then drop down again and squeeze up. Don't have your feet too far away from you for the moment. We'll draw them away in a minute. But I just want you to have your heels in towards your hips. Squeeze and hold at the top. Back down and again, squeeze, hold at the top. And again. Now hold it there. Hold. Give me 10 little pulses. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Perfect. Now walk your feet away a little bit and dig your heels in. So we're now going to just warm the hamstrings up a little bit more. Dig the heels in and lift up. You feel that? And drop down. And again, go slowly and try and use the glutes to support the hamstrings as well. But both backs of your thighs and your buttock muscles will be tensing. We're just warning them about stuff to come. We're going to do 4 more. 1. Squeeze, dig your heels in. 2. Couple more. Squeeze 3. And squeeze 4. Perfect. Roll over onto your front. Come onto your knees. Take your left leg forward and put your hands on the inside of that left foot. And take that back knee off the floor. You're just stretching out your hips now. Hold that still for 5, 4. If you want to put your knee down too, if it's more comfortable. 3, 2, 1. Drop the knee, change legs. Left foot forward, hands down. Take the knee off the floor if you feel comfortable. Slide the shoulders down, your back is nice and straight. You're just getting a stretch in that hip. 3, 2, 1. Perfect. Drop the knee, come to a standing position. We're just going to practice reverse lunges. Okay, so your arms are by your side. You'll take a step back, drop, come up, back together. Other leg, step it back, drop it down, come up, back together. Make sure that this front heel stays pretty much underneath that knee. And again, step, drop down, up and back. Now if you feel confident, you could do it in a little bit more of a flowing movement. Up. Perfect. But just don't want to tire them out, so we're going to do one more each leg. 1, up, 2, up. Okay, we're going to give the hamstrings a little stretch before we go into the main workout. Dig the heel in, stick your hips out behind you and sweep the floor. Then change, dig the heel in, sweep the floor. So we're keeping a stretch, a little bit of a warming up stretch. Keep it quite dynamic, we don't want to do static stretches at this stage. 2 more. 1, 2. Okay, we're going to work the quads first. We've got 3 exercises. We're going to do them for roughly 30 to 40 seconds each. One, and there'll be about 10 seconds rest in between. Then we'll have a 30-second rest at the end. We're going to do it 3 times. Up to you if you have weights. Let me show you what they are. You're going to do a wall squat, so you need to be against a wall. So up to you how far down you go, but if you can, get your hips level with your knees. If not, you drive up like that and just hold it there. And that'll be your quads under pressure. And then you're going to do a squat with weights on your shoulders if you're using weights. Squat into a calf raise. Squat into a calf raise. And then you're going to do something called walking skaters, which is like a reverse crossover lunge. So you drop, step, take the leg behind you. Make sure the toes are facing forward and you're getting a nice in your bottom. Okay, grab your weights if you're going to use weights. Don't worry if you're not. You don't necessarily need them in this set. Okay, against the wall or against your door, make sure your heels are underneath your knees. Depends how high you are, how strong your quads are. We're going to hold this just for 30 seconds. Shoulder blades back and down. And if you're new to this kind of training, you'll already be thinking, in which case just rise up like that. Okay, or you might want to put the weights down and think, why did I pick up weights? Well done everybody. We have got 8 seconds left of our 30 seconds. And then we're going to do the next 2 exercises for 40 seconds each. 3, 2, 1. Okay, slide up, bring your feet back. Up to you if you have weights or not. Feet are wide, put the weights on your shoulders and you're going to drop down into a squat and come up onto your toes. If that makes you lose your balance, just stick with the squat, in which case you're driving down and up. Ready, let's go. 40 seconds. Come up on your toes, back down and then up on your toes. Just work your calf muscles a little bit. Up, down. So you are sitting down on a little chair behind you. Try and keep your back nice and straight. And you're going super slow, there's no bouncing. It's almost a little mini pause at the end. So you're doing the squat followed by the little calf raise and you'll feel yourself getting a little bit warm and puffed. Because they're big muscle groups, there's lots of muscle groups working here. Last one. Perfect, okay, weights down for your walking skaters. Step, it's like a curtsy, step, curtsy. So see how that knee goes behind. Ready? Let's do it. So try and keep your body facing me so you get the benefit of the effort in the outside of that glute there. Step, try not to lean down, keep upright. And try and drop the back knee. Try and keep the back knee as it drops quite close to this front heel. Let's do 10 more seconds. So sink down, not just tapping it, you're sinking down. 1 more each side. 1 and 2. Perfect. See how I'm starting to puff now because this and this, big muscles. Heart has to chuck some blood containing that oxygen to to keep them moving and working. So shake the legs out. Okay, you've got 10 more seconds rest. If you need to have a little stretch, just grab hold of one foot. And then we're going to go back into that wall squat with or without weights, whatever you want to do. Okay, 5, 4. Second set coming up. 3, 2, 1. Slide yourself down, look at your heels. Make sure they're, that's it, underneath the knees. Shoulder blades. Now it's very tempting to do that. If you're holding weights, try and have the weights by your side or just put them down. Shoulder blades back and gripping the wall behind you. Hold on to it, this is only 30 seconds. We're nearly there. Breathe, feel it, push through your heels and let your glutes help you. 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Slide back up, well done. Okay, squat into a calf raise, feet wide, weights on your shoulders if you're using them. Toes forward, don't worry if you need to turn your toes out a little bit to get deeper. Ready, let's go. Down and then up. Squeeze, push through. Now think about, go nice and slowly and think about the muscles that are working. I'm sure the front of your thighs are going, screaming at you a little bit. Don't let your knees push out over the front of your toes. Certainly don't let your heels lift. Sit down, so keep your chest proud, your back nice and straight. Squeeze those glutes. Down, come up, push down, tighten the stomach muscles, try not to bend over, no bouncing. Last one. Perfect, weights down for the skaters. We're going in 3, 2, 1. Let's step and curtsy. So if you want your hands out the way, just put them in the front like that. And you're dropping down. You could, if you want to use weights, just have them by your side. So I'm quite short, so I can actually get that back knee, and I've got short legs, back knee on the floor. Stay upright. You don't need to keep in time with me. Just do what you can. But consider your technique. Step, drop it down, step, drop it down. We are going to do 2 more after this one. Step, curtsy, step, curtsy. Fantastic. Shake the legs out, give it a little stretch. Grab hold of one foot. Stay as tall as you can. You might need to hold on to something. And we're going to do it for one final set. Change legs. So try not to stretch there. Pull it back and feel a lovely stretch down the front of the thigh there. 3, 2, 1. Here we go with our wall squat. Now, if you've been using weights, it's all a bit too much. Let's not use them this time. This time we're going to try and get a little bit lower. So heels underneath your knees, shoulder blades back against the wall, smile painted on. 30 seconds, let's go. Hold it there. Come on everybody, you're doing brilliantly. Keep your navel pulled back in. Try not to do that, because that gets you tense around your shoulders. Arms by your side. Do whatever you need to do, groan, moan. 8 seconds, 7 seconds. I'm watching that timer very closely, don't you worry. 3, 2, 1. Slide up, well done. Let's do the next set without weights too. Feet wide, toes forward. And you're going to squat and come up into the calf raise. Let's go. Down and back up. Down. So you can bring your arms forward as you drop down into that squat. Try to don't let your hands go on your thighs. So try to avoid any of that because it switches off this and you want to be able to use your core a little bit. Come up onto that toe. If you can't go too low, don't worry, but make sure that you don't let your knees go forward. Don't let your heels lift off the floor like this. So, that. Okay, we don't want that. Heels lift off the floor for the calf raise when you're standing, but not in the squat. And done. Perfect. We've got our walking skaters now. Ready? In 3, in 2, in 1. Step, curtsy. So if you had weights, you could have them on your shoulders or you could have them by your side. Having them on your shoulders makes you use your stomach muscles a little bit more. See how my breath is hotting up? You're probably feeling very warm now. Step, curtsy. This is just a really short, great little workout that you can just use to strengthen your lower body at home. We're going to do 4 more. 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. Okay. Now you do need your weighted objects or your dumbbells for the next set because we're going to concentrate more on the glutes and the hamstrings here. Previous set, what we've just done was more based on there and a little bit of glutes, but we're focusing here. So we're going to do a deadlift, Romanian deadlift. So your feet are narrow like that, and you're going to take your hips out behind you. See how my knee is soft? Your weights go down your shins. You're pushing your hips up, out through a top window, and then you're squeezing them and driving forward. You go slightly slower. Slow on the way down with a flat back, not with a rounded back. Then we're going to go into reverse lunges, holding our dumbbells, and then we're going to do a dumbbell swing. We'll get to that in a minute. Grab your weights. So because these are big muscle groups, you'll need something fairly hefty. So maybe a carry bag full of books, rucksack full of books, something like that. So hold one in each hand, knuckles facing forward, and you start and end here. See how I'm rocking back, pushing the hips behind me, as if you're shutting the car door with your bottom. Here we go, we're going to go down. We're doing 40 seconds just so you can get to the groove. Now you get to the point where you feel that stretch and then you squeeze your glutes and come up. Without bending your knees. You are not squatting, okay? You're not bending your knees, you're squeezing your glutes up. So you feel a stretch down the back of your thigh to there. Back is flat, up. And the more you poke your bottom up, the more lengthened your hamstrings are going to be, and then they have a greater range of movement to contract. We've got about 12 seconds. Breathe in on the way down. Think glutes all the time, squeeze. That's it. So poking them up, this is the last rep, and up. Excellent. Weights by your side. You're going to go into reverse lunges. You can step and drop and back together if you like, or if you're feeling groovy and confident, you can step alternate legs. You've got a book on your head. Let's go. So you're not leaning forward, okay? You're staying upright. So your shoulders need to stay above your hips. Do it without weights if you want to do it without weights, it's fine. It's still a very effective exercise. It's good for you to get technique. Don't go too low if you don't want to. Shoulder blades squeezed. Excellent. 10 more seconds. Perfect. Keep it up. 1 more rep. Now put one of the dumbbells down and collect your kettlebell. I'm going to use the dumbbell. Your feet are wide. Again, you're not squatting. You're just thrusting your hips out behind you, and it's a faster movement and squeezing, but you've got to use your glutes. Don't let it go into your lower back. Okay, so it's not a slow movement. The only way that dumbbell gets up there is you using your glutes. Let's go. Squeeze. So it's hips out. You're almost rocking back on my heels, thrusting the hips forward, and that gets that weight up no higher than my collarbone. You'll find that you get a bit puffed. Clench hard. Come on. Really squeeze. 5 more. 1, 2, 3, 4. Last one. 5. Okay. Have a breather. Have a sip of water if you've got some. We're going to do that again. Everybody okay? Of course you are. So starting with our RDLs, they're called Romanian deadlift. Hips out behind you, poking the bottom up. You get the most benefit if you have a heavy weight, but remember it's all that that's lifting the weight. You haven't got to lift it with your shoulders. Ready? Let's go. 3, 2, 1. Lift, squeeze. Hips out behind you. You see my knee is soft, but I'm not using my quads. I'm stretching the back of my legs. Push the hips out behind you. Run the weights, or whatever you're holding, down your shins and feel the stretch in the hamstrings, and then explode up using your glutes and those hamstrings. We're going to go for 8 seconds. We're making this 30 seconds this round. Back nice and flat, squeeze hard. One more. Perfect, okay. Reverse lunges. Drop the shoulders back and down, stay tall. Everybody okay? Step back, let's go. I'm going to go for 30 seconds. You're going to do, don't try and stay with me if you're doing a slightly slower version of a lunge, that's fine. You just do your lunges for as long as I'm doing them. Drop down. So remember, you can step, lower, up and back. Using these muscles is going to help support your knees, your hips, your ankles. I'm going to do one more rep. Down. Perfect. Put that weight down. Ready for your dumbbell swing. So remember, this is glutes, hamstrings again. Feet wider, toes forward, and you are not squatting, you are sticking your hips out behind you. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. So if you've got a kettlebell, use that. Or if you're gripping a carrier bag full of books, that's good with both hands. Just be careful not to let it go. Squeeze, think of it all the time. Hips out, so poking your bottom out through that top window and then pushing it forwards. It's quite a dynamic move. 3 more reps. 1, 2, 3. 30 seconds rest. And then we're going again for the final set. And then we'll stretch hamstrings and quads and hip flexors. Everybody okay? Well done. See, you'll probably feel a bit like that. That's good. It's fine. Ready? What are we doing first? Deadlift. Okay. Feet hip distance apart. Shoulders back and down. Game face on, people. Let's go. So slowly down and squeeze up. Don't go down with a rounded back. I want you to lift from here using your glutes, not your lower back. That's it. So you're pushing that car door with your glutes and snapping up. But clench them at the top. We're going to do 2 more. 1. Down, down, down. And 2. Perfect. Weights by your side, or you might want to dump your weights now. Ready for your reverse lunges. Shoulders back and down. In 3, in 2, in 1. Big step. And up. Drop down. Lovely. Keep the heel driving into the floor. Don't let the toe go forward over the knee go forward over the front toe. Stay up. Keep your knee and your toe trapped. Don't worry. I'm just giving you teaching points, so I don't want you to panic and think, there's so much to think about. You've just got to enjoy this. And think how brilliant it is that you've just switched this on. 1 more rep. Dumbbell swings for the last time. Feet wide, toes forward. In 3, in 2, in 1. Let's go. So there's nothing on your shoulders here or your arms at all. The only way that dumbbell gets up is you pushing your hips forward. Hold on tight. Poke the bottom up. Feel a stretch in the hamstrings, then up. We're going to do 5 more. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Amazing, everybody. Well done. Okay, come onto your mat on the floor. Take your left leg forward. We're going to stretch your hip flexors now. I want you to tilt the pelvis, so tuck the pelvis under like that. So I'll show you that again. You're here, and then you're going to tilt, glide forward, and you feel quite an intense stretch there. That's good. Hold on to that. And then come up and do the other side. Right leg forward, tilt the pelvis, push forwards, lean back a little bit, and you feel that intense stretch in your hip. Hold on to that. So you should be squeezing, I'm stretching my left hip now, so I'm squeezing my left glute. We're going to stand up now and do your hamstrings here. So, standing hamstring stretch. Bend the knee, bend the leg that's not stretching. Keep this one straight and poke the bottom up. We've done a lot of poking bottoms up today. And you'll feel a stretch there. Lift the toe so it goes into your calf. Hands on the bent leg and hold that position. The more you lean down and the more you poke the bottom up, the more you're going to feel that stretch. Let's hold it for another 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Come up. Change legs. Toe down. Hips out behind you. So the stretching leg is a straight one. Back is flat. I'm still poking the bottom up. Hold it there. Feel that elongation. Now lift that toe and hold that. Slide the shoulders down. Try not to be like that and lean on that leg. Just you're slightly here so the core is still working. Hold it there. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Let's do the quads. And you may need to do these a couple more times today if you feel that they're a bit, ouch, a bit tender. Grab hold of one foot, so hold on to the wall or a chair. Hold on to that. Try not to, you can make it harder by tilting the pelvis, but then keeping the pelvis tilted and pulling that leg back. Needs a bit of upper body strength for that. Otherwise stay upright and then change sides. Grab hold of that foot, keep the knees together, tilt if you'd like to make it harder, and then keep the tilt up and pull the foot in. Hold it there for 3, 2, 1. Shake them out. Give yourselves a jolly good pat on the back. Well done everybody. Thank you very much. Look forward to seeing you again soon.